Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone. You're listening to Red Pill 78. Can you hear me? Can anyone hear me? It looks to me like the stream is live. Can I get a confirmation? It shows me that the stream is running. Yes. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you so much, guys. I appreciate everyone who is here. It looks like it says I've only got three people watching, but I can tell that it's way more than that because I've got, well, it looks to be many people on there. Yes, thank you so much, guys. I am so happy that everyone is here. You're listening to Red Pill 78. I am the Corruption Detector, and this is your Red Pill News for Saturday afternoon live. We've got Donald Trump's special announcement coming up this afternoon at 4 p.m. Yes, that is 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It has been pushed back an hour. We don't know why that is yet, but we're going to stay on the air until the stream starts. We've got the president's stream sitting right here. It's all ready to go, guys. 690 people, 880 people, 1.2 thousand people. Thank you, God. I am so glad that it's working. We have had so much trouble the last couple of times, guys. Everybody who was here before, no voice. Can anybody else hear me? I just saw somebody else say no voice. If you can't hear me, then you definitely need to make sure that you have the mute off on your computer or on your phone, or turn your volume up, because I am definitely talking. And it looks to me like everybody else could hear me. All right, so why are we here, guys? We are here because there is going to be an announcement from the president today at 4 p.m. What is that announcement about? Well, we've got some information coming in from the Gateway Pundit. Let's see here. Where do we go? Let's go to the Gateway Pundit. Well, the Gateway Pundit is reporting that apparently President Trump is going to offer protection for DACA. What? I suppose it's better than nothing else, all right? The rumblings are that President Trump is going to offer DACA protection in exchange for $5.7 billion in wall funding. If that's how we got to do it, oh yeah, guys, sorry, I am going to turn on slow chat, guys, because we've got a lot of people in here. Hope that you understand. Let's go over here. Enable slow chat. Okay, great. Now, you guys, I need to get rid of this chat over here because it keeps doing this. Let's go to pop out chat. All right, here we are. All right, and I am definitely seeing 1,654 people in the room with me tonight. Thank you so much. All right, so let's take a look. We don't know that this is right, guys. We don't know this is correct. We don't know that this is what President Trump is going to say. We know we have a leaker. We know that there is definitely a leaker in the White House again. I thought we got rid of those. But either way, this might not be real. This might be a throw. Hopefully, this is a throw. Let's take a look, though. Oh, I love it when Donald Trump gives that look, you guys. He's like, I'm the boss. You're fired. The live stream begins at 3 here with us. We're going to talk until the president goes live at 4 p.m. All right, well, President Trump announced, as we know, from Twitter Friday afternoon that he is making a major announcement Saturday at 3 p.m. concerning the humanitarian crisis at the border and the government shutdown. I will be making a major announcement concerning the humanitarian crisis on our southern border and the shutdown tomorrow. It's been changed to 4 p.m. live from the White House, President Trump said. President Trump is locked in a feud with House Speaker Nancy Pelosi and Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer over border wall funding. Democrats say there is no crisis with open borders. Axios reported on Saturday that President Trump will offer DACA protections in exchange for $5.7 billion of border wall funding. Patty Patriot, Thank you so much for the super chat. Yes, we need to support our president. If this is what President Trump has to do to get this through, I suppose we're going to have to chew on it. But to be perfectly honest with you guys, I think that it would be very, very difficult to get all of these DACA people out of the country. All right. If they go starting to round up people, you know what they're going to say? They're going to make allusions to concentration camps. They are going to basically try to make him akin to Hitler once again. All right. Now, we've got a lot of people. How many DACA people are in the country? How many DACA people? Let's take a look. Oops. My mic is in my way. How many DACA people? Let's see. How many DACA recipients? As of August 2012, there was as many as 1.76 million. All right. So let's look at it this way. If they offer some type of permanent residency to these people, if they allow them to be on the books, Ken Crook, thank you so much for the super chat, my friend. I'm so happy you're here. Second time you're here. Thank you so much for joining us. This is a good day because we've got a lot of people in the chat. The last 2 times, YouTube has really brought the hammer down on me hard, and I'm so glad that people got the notification. Kim Castile, my friend, thank you, Patriot. I'm so happy you're here. Good to see you. So imagine all of these people. If we can get all these people on the books, how many millions of dollars in tax dollars is that? Jen Fair, we need to pray for our president. I agree with you 100%. Where we go one, we go all. We're all in this together. All right. Now, here's the thing, you guys. Just because they're DACA recipients doesn't mean that they are bad people. Okay. But it does mean that they have the potential to contribute to our country. Now, if they've been here all this time, then there's a fair amount of certainty that they are, invested to stay here. Okay. They want to stay here. All right. And if we get them on the books, they start paying taxes. They start contributing. All right. They start, increasing our overall numbers as a country. We need that. We do need that. But let's get back to the article. Lindsay Joe Martinez, thank you so much for the super chat, my friend. You guys, I really appreciate everybody who has supported me so far. I just want to say I'm humbled and I'm overwhelmed by how many people enjoy watching me and who enjoy listening to my silly voice. Because I do the best that I can, and sometimes it's a frustrating life, but I feel I've been brought by God to this calling. Christopher K, thank you so much, my friend, for the super chat. All right, so we already know that President Trump is in a feud with Nancy Pelosi and the Democrats, but it says here that President Trump plans to use remarks from the diplomatic reception room on Saturday afternoon to propose a notable immigration compromise, according to sources familiar with the speech. The offer is expected to include Trump's $5.7 billion demand for wall money in exchange for the Bridge Act, which would extend protections for deferred action for childhood arrivals, DACA, and also legislation to extend the legal status of temporary protected status. 1776, deplorable patriot, desert deplorable praying. Thank you so much for the super chat, my friend. I really appreciate that. 1776 is a good year. We're going to be looking at something from around that time here in just a moment, having to do with National Popcorn Day, guys. I think maybe Tyrone, you're here, buddy. Okay, I was looking to see who. Do I have anybody here who is an experienced mod? Lady Warrenon, are you an experienced mod? Anybody is a mod. I've got 2 of my mods in the room. I know that for certain. But we have a lot of people now. This is almost the most. No, I think I had 2,300 people in here one time. Melissa Byer, thank you so much for the super chat. I really appreciate it. Brenda W, refresh your page. There is definitely a stream going out. The stream health says that it's good. You guys, please hit that like button. Karma9, you're back, man. I haven't seen you for a while. Good to see you, buddy. All right, so I think that this is what President Trump wanted all along. Okay, he knew how difficult it was going to be to kick out a couple of million people from the United States. That would create a large vacuum. All right, these people already have jobs. All right, the gangbangers. Okay, the people that are criminals. We're not going to keep them. We're not allowing them to stay. All right, but the people who are contributing to the gross domestic product of the United States, they are going to be able to stay. Wow, I'm showing 2,362 people in the chat right now. 2,368. Thank you very much, G. Graham. Oh, you're here from Hong Kong, Tracy Wu. That's so cool. Man, it's so amazing to me how many people across the country. God's guy, my brother from another mother. You are the best. Say hello to Gina for me, sir. Excellent. Glad to see you guys. I'm so glad you're here. Today, God has blessed me yet again because the Super Chat is an amazing gift, and my actual stream health is green now, you guys, so you should not see it buffering too much. If you do see it buffering, then, go ahead and hit pause. And you weren't getting notifications, Karmanan. I know, buddy. I want to tell everybody here right now that the powers that be are doing everything they can to make sure that you guys don't hear about my live streams. You don't get the notifications for my videos. Please, whatever you do, make sure that after this stream, you go to my page, go to my YouTube page, and hit that notification bell. Tell it to send you all the notifications, all right? And then after that, I want you to go to Twitter, and then I want you to follow me on Twitter, and then hit the notification bell there, because if it doesn't send it to you on YouTube, I send a video out at least twice a day, and on Twitter, I push it every single time, all right? I have the ability to tell Twitter to put it out. I can't tell YouTube to put it out. They have an algorithm, and it's weird. But if you follow me on Twitter, then you will definitely get a notification. Wow, almost 2,500 people in here, guys. That's great. Fred Prevo, you're a mod on another channel, buddy? Okay. If I can get to you, sir. Add moderator. Okay. You should be a moderator now, Fred. Thank you very much. You guys are the best. I am so glad that you're here with me tonight. Laura Lee, good to see you. Appreciate you. Ryan Chenault 80, thanks for doing what you do, sir. Thanks for showing up, you guys. This is the whole reason I do it. I'm here because you guys allow me to produce this content. And I just, Ian McCullough, thank you so much for the super chat as well, my friend. Thank you so much, you guys. Let's see here. So, and this Bridge Act, it's not going to make them citizens. It's going to give them temporary protected status. So they are going to have the ability to prove themselves. I mean, I can get down with this. I can agree with this. If it was just, carte blanche, we're going to give citizenship to the DACA people, then that would be a bad idea. Andy Lee, God bless you and all patriots as well. Thank you so much for the super chat. I do appreciate it. You guys, I'm going to hit my vape real quick. Once again, guys, thank you for joining me for the pre-show of President Trump's announcement this afternoon at 4 p.m. We are eagerly waiting for that to happen. Robert Stubbs, why has the Hammer program that Dennis Montgomery and Larry Klayman exposed? The truth of Benghazi. I would like to know about that. I did not know that Dennis Montgomery and Larry Klayman exposed something specifically in regards to Benghazi, but I think that's something I'd like to know about. Vape Nash. Vape Nash. All right, you guys. Now, here we are. That was the article I was trying to find at the start. Okay, now, did you guys check my video this morning? I actually uploaded it on Thursday, but YouTube was blocking it until last night, and then I had to get that video out about the information that I did about today for National Popcorn Day and this announcement. I am vaping on some Mucho Guava right now, you guys. Mucho Guava, it's a delicious product, 6 mil. If anyone has not done it yet, please make sure that you like, share, and subscribe, and hit that notification button. Let's see. Oh, Karmanon, it looks like it's going to be about the DACA recipients. He's going to hand over the Bridge Act in exchange for $5.7 billion in funding. Now, you guys remember the video from this morning, as I was just saying. Nancy Pelosi was made to look like a fool. Gina, we appreciate your hard work. Thank you for showing up. I do appreciate you. Thank you for the super chat, Gina. It means a lot. But I think that now I imagine you guys sitting on the couch together, both on your phones. Does one of you have the volume up? Okay. Ian McCullough, thank you so much, sir. Appreciate the super chat, buddy. We don't know. We don't know why the delay. But we do know that President Trump enjoys holding people by the scruff of their necks. Bree Stoley, thank you for the super chat. Since this is YouTube, I would suspect it would be linked to my Google account. Yeah, I think it must. I got to be honest. I'm new to it too. This only since I started streaming have I even really discovered the fact that super chat exists. All right, so Jeffrey Mooney, thank you for the super chat, sir. Do appreciate it. So President Trump made Nancy Pelosi and the Democrats and her family look like idiots, okay, on their way to the airport, and he tells them that they're not going to be going on that plane. Be Awake World, thank you so much. I do appreciate you showing up there. Thank you for the super chat. And Daniel Bender, also, thank you for the super chat. Dems should be sent to border for week. I can hear. Okay. Diana Kelly 73, thank you for the super chat as well. I do appreciate it. They were driving in circles. They were driving in circles around D.C. They were too embarrassed to get off the bus because they knew as soon as they did, they were going to get pounded by the press. Everybody was going to be like, oh my God, what are you doing? And the thing that I didn't realize is that Nancy Pelosi had like 93 members of her family on the bus. Did you guys realize that? Nancy Pelosi, why is she taking her entire extended family on a military aircraft, all right, giving them free passage on the American tax dollar? I do not agree with that. Not cool. Not cool at all. But Chris Matthews said, Jackie Moore, God bless you, girl. Thank you for the super chat. I do appreciate it. Chris Matthews said, Trump's letter to Pelosi made Democrats look like fools. I don't care for Chris Wallace, but I'm going to read this one because this is hilarious. MSNBC's Chris Matthews joined the chorus of pundits losing their minds over President Donald Trump canceling Nancy Pelosi's trip to Afghanistan, but admitted that the president made the Democrats look like fools. Jean-Marie Todak, thank you for the super chat, my friend. President Trump had hilariously canceled the trip as the Democrats were in a bus on their way to the flight. Let's talk about the cheap shot part of it. They were in the bus, headed to Joint Base Edward Andrews. He made them look like fools, sitting in the Capitol of the driveway, basically trying to figure out what's coming next. He caught them in the act as if they were sneaking out of town and made them look stupid. Amen, Chris. I mean, it looked like a political dirty trick to me, Matthews complained during Thursday's episode of Hardball. President Trump's not being fair to us. President Trump's not letting us fly for free on the American tax dollars' backs. Whatever. Matthews went on to read the statement from Senator Lindsey Graham in which he said that one sophomoric response does not deserve another regarding Pelosi's attempt to cancel the State of the Union. I have to disagree, Lindsey Graham. I think that President Trump's move was a brilliant chess play. Okay, he told the Democrats exactly who's boss. He let them know. He grabbed him by the cojones and he gave him a good shake. Suzanne Graves, thank you for the super chat. I do appreciate it. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us. We are almost at 2,800 viewers right now. This is incredible. The Congress seems to have lost some of its class since you've been there. I don't know what to make of this. I think Pelosi looked smart yesterday. I think the president looks a little cheap today. Clearly, this looks like Carry On Government, some old British comedy. It doesn't look good for our country. I think that what doesn't look good for the country is the fact that the Democrats are obstructionists. And the Democrats would rather have illegals here to vote than they would rather have border protections. Border protections for our citizens. No borders, no nation. Say it with me. No borders, no nation. All right? Former Republican David Jolly also said that both sides seem to be at fault for the shutdown. No, it's the Democrats. It's definitely the Democrats. Silver Wolf, greetings from England. Love your work and the way your channel has grown. Space Shot mentioned you just after you started, and I've been with you ever since. Thank you so much, my friend. I do appreciate you joining us from across the pond, as it were. There comes a point in which your low in medium and intensity voters look at Washington and say, they're all a bunch of children. They're behaving like idiots. I think this is that week, Jolly said. Sally Jordan, thank you for the super chat. You know what? I think that time came a long time ago, Jolly. I think that the American public have known for a long time that there's a bunch of jokers and clowns in Washington. These people are not representing us. Okay, they are representing their own interests and the interests of their friends. and their business associates. They're not doing anything for the American people. President Trump is the only one who stood up for the American people, and I don't know how long. You know, of course, you got Rand Paul there, but, you know, he's one man, you know, in the representatives. And so President Trump is the first person in a really long time to do anything to help us. And I don't think anybody looks at President Trump except for the people with TDS and think that he's an idiot. I think that people look at the clowns, okay, the clowns in the House and the Senate, and they realize that those jokers are the ones who haven't done anything. How many years have they been promising and not delivering? Jeffrey Mooney, thank you so much for the super chat, my friend. How long, you guys? Do you guys ever remember a successful or productive government? Okay. Do you ever remember a time when they didn't just give themselves pay raises or, you know, ingratiate their friends and, you know, glad handing on deals? Kevin Chisel, thank you so much for the super chat, my friend. I do appreciate it. But it's insane. It's insane what they are. All right. These elected representatives do little more than just show up. Okay. They get an apartment. They get to party. Okay. They get wined and dined by the lobbyists. They cheat on their spouses. Okay. Washington, D.C. is like Sodom and Gomorrah. Okay. It is disgusting to me. All right. I think that politics has for a long time not been for the people. You know, I don't know if that it ever really was. You know, I mean, I've only been alive for 40 years. So what do I know? All right. But next, it goes on to say, the segment concluded with Matthews and his guest debating over border security, with the host shockingly defending the need to secure the border one way or another. Wow. Florida Sun Sprite, salt, garlic, butter, popcorn, Q fam. Great Saturday. That's right. Today is going to be a good Saturday. I hope that there's a whole bunch of other things in the news. Because we got another show later on tonight. I want to remind everyone, Lady Q, my good friend, thank you so much for the super chat. And Kathleen Compton, thank you so much for the super chat. I do appreciate it. You guys, don't forget, we have another live stream coming up at 9 o'clock tonight. Hopefully there's going to be a lot of news in the meantime. If once the announcement from the president is over, we'll have plenty to talk about and discuss it later on this evening. All right, so that's enough from Chris Matthews, but I can't believe it. We got Chris Matthews saying we got to defend the border. We got, who's the other joker at CNN? His brother is a governor of New York. Chris Cuomo. Sandeezy, thank you so much for the super chat. May our POTUS and Q team and all good patriots be forever blessed. Yes, thank you so much for saying that. I pray for everyone in harm's way, you guys, because as Q has said, operators have died. These people lay their lives on the line. President Trump did not have to be president, all right? He did not have to be president. He was doing just fine. He was doing just fine as a businessman. He did not need to go into politics, but he did it because he cares about America. Red Pill Kool-Aid, thank you so much for the super chat. You rock. Thank you so much for showing up. I do appreciate it. We all are witnessing the Great Awakening, okay? This is the great unmasking of our controllers, our puppet masters. They are all finding out what's going on. All these people are waking up. Every day I see more people. Oh, I just woke up like a week ago. You know, I just realized. I saw your video and I realized. Or somebody, you know, I hadn't heard about Q, and then I saw one of your videos. I was like, wow, I don't know. You've been sleeping under a rock, but I'm glad you found me. That's great. Okay, so Golden State covering the speech. I'm going to be covering the speech live, Just Surfing. Robert D., thank you for the super chat. I do appreciate it. I want to remind everybody, if anybody just got here, we are going to be watching the president's address at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That is in 34 minutes from now. And yes, thank you so much, Carmenon. I'm glad you're here, buddy. Now, Carmenon and everybody else, I just want to remind you, my regular live stream is Saturday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, except when the president has a special announcement, then I'm always going to cover that because it's very important. Very, very important. All right, so we've got the Mark Taylor prophecy coming true. The press is starting to flip. They are also realizing that these clowns in D.C. are not good for business. All right, it was supposed to be at 3 p.m. everyone, but the president pushed it back to 4 p.m. So, but yeah, you know, we've got, you know, it's in a backhanded way, Chris Cuomo and Chris Matthews supporting the president, but they agree with him now. They realize we got to have border security. All right. I'm sure that CNN and MSNBC realizes they're not going to be in business much longer if things continue the way that they are, because everyone is waking up. All right. So, not a joke. Nancy Pelosi proposes electronic dogs to protect the border. What the hell is she on? Megan Fixler, love you too. Thank you for the super chat. Nancy Pelosi says walls are immoral. Pelosi says they don't work unless they're at her palatial estate. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, Democrat California, lashed out at President Trump's agenda to build a wall to secure the border, recently saying a wall is an immorality. Georgia Peach, hey girl, thank you so much. I do appreciate the super chat. Nancy Pelosi says the border solution is electronic dogs. What the heck is an electronic dog, you guys? Is she talking about those bionic cheetahs from Google? What's she talking about? Pelosi endorsed electronic dogs for the border earlier this week. All right, we got to listen. Oh, that's what I'm talking about. One of those guys.
And then we talk about technology, as I said. Several $100 million, ranges from $500 million to $700 million for the technology to scan the cars coming through the ports of entry, and that is to detect guns. It's like an electronic dog almost to detect drugs, guns, and other contraband.
An electronic dog, of course. How obvious. It was right there in plain sight, and we missed it. The rest of us were thinking about security in old-fashioned medieval terms: walls, fences, actual living dogs. But leave it to the congresswoman from our technology capital out in California to think a lot bigger than that. You're looking at the solution of the future, an electronic dog. Brilliant. This show has exclusively obtained a prototype of the speaker's digital canine. You're watching it right now. Just kidding, we pulled that off the internet. Probably not so different from the real thing, though. We'll see. In the meantime, though, let's take Nancy Pelosi and Beto O'Rourke and the entire editorial staffs on the other cable channels seriously for a moment. Let's concede that walls are, in fact, inherently immoral. How do we respond once we've accepted that? We can't simply prevent Donald Trump from building a wall. That's not enough. We've got to do something about the countless walls of wickedness that degrade and pollute America's moral landscape. For example, the wall that keeps poor people out of Barack Obama's home in Washington.
Amen.
The wall that protects George Soros' place in Southampton. The wall at the Pelosi compound in Napa. Not to mention the wall around Mark Zuckerberg's estate in Hawaii. The gated communities of Brentwood. The walled gardens of Brooklyn. Level them all of them. Make them flat. In fact, do it tonight, before an angry God turns us all to pillars of salt for ignoring his anti-wall commandment. Speaker Pelosi, tear down these walls. And once you've done that, turn the bulldozer of righteousness outward to the world. Israel, for example, surrounded by walls on virtually all sides. Does Nancy Pelosi know that? Will she withhold billions in military aid until those walls are gone? That's a moral question now. What's the answer? And how about Tunisia and Jordan? We help pay for those countries' walls. We are implicated in those walls. Will we pay to take them down? How much do we really care about our souls? We contacted the speaker today to find out. She didn't reply. Neither did the other Democrats we called. It turns out they have no plans to eliminate anyone else's walls, and certainly not their own. They just own a wall to protect America. They don't think our country deserves that. Just yesterday, the New York Times ran a piece by a man called Farad Manjoo. He demanded that the U.S. get rid of its borders entirely. No borders. If 10 million, 100 million, a billion people want to move here, so be it. It's not our right to keep them out. It's only our obligation to pay for it. That's the Democrats' position. They're telling us that God agrees with them. Mark Morgan was the head.
All right, guys. I didn't even realize that I had my show image on for that whole time. So I do appreciate that everybody stuck with me that whole time. But if I'm doing something, go ahead and let me know. Floating Lotus, thank you so much for the super chat. And Shafe1903, also thank you for the super chat during that video. Yeah, if anybody crashes, I am still on. The stream is healthy. So please reload the page. Oh my God. Okay, so yes, we need a wall, and we need a moat around the wall, and then we need dogs, and we need dogs with bees in their mouths, and we need lasers, and we need sharks with lasers on their heads. Anything to take care of our border security. You got to be kidding me with these people. Oh my God! Someone said in the chat while this Tucker was playing that President Trump was meeting with the families of the soldiers that were killed in Syria. So I think that's probably why he has postponed his announcement until 4 o'clock. And then I thought somebody else said that War Drummer was in the room. I don't know if that's the case, but War Drummer, if you're here, buddy, I sure appreciate it. Much respect. I love your show. Let's take a look. What else do we got here, guys? Oh, yeah. Right here. White House denies Pelosi's leak charge as details from Kabul cable raise questions over her claim. Nancy Pelosi tried saying that President Trump leaked her trip, okay? He didn't leak her trip. Nancy Pelosi wants attention. Nancy Pelosi will do anything to make herself look better. She's trying to make President Trump look foolish, but the fact of the matter is, Santa Claus of the United States says that RBG died yesterday. Guys, is RBG gone? I mean, I thought maybe she was gone before, but... All right, let's take a look at this article from Fox. The White House on Friday adamantly denied House Speaker Nancy Pelosi's claim that it leaked plans for a delegation's proposed commercial flight to Afghanistan, as details from a State Department cable cautioning her office about the trip raised further questions about the allegation. Pelosi's office, however, maintained that the administration had in fact leaked the details to the media. We were contacted by reporters this morning with multiple administration sources saying that the Codel was proceeding on commercial air, spokesman Drew Hamill told Fox News. Hamill had said earlier Friday that Trump endangered the delegation by first publicizing the trip when he denied the delegation a military aircraft due to the partial government shutdown, then leaking the plans, necessitating a postponement. No, that's not what happened. The White House called the leak claim a flat-out lie, while another official called it asinine. Pelosi's accusation appeared to be at least partially challenged by details of a cable sent by the State Department in Kabul to Washington recommending she postpone the travel. Ian McCullough, thank you so much for the super chat. Where we go one, we go all. That's right. Fox News is told that the cable cited Afghan media reporting about the president's suggestion to fly commercially. Duh. The cable, according to sources, noted the delegation had requested authorization to purchase 17 tickets over unclassified systems and advised that their travel would not be a secret. Urging her to postpone, the cable also noted that because few airlines fly into Kabul, their arrival time would also be easy to predict. Can you imagine that? Not many planes going into Kabul, Afghanistan this time of the year, or many times at all during the year. So if Nancy Pelosi had flown commercial, then there's a big chance that she could have gotten caught with a rocket maybe supplied by Obama, Hussein, or what's her name, Hillary HRC. When the Speaker of the House and about 20 others from Capitol Hill decided to book their own commercial flights to Afghanistan, the world is going to find out. The idea we would leak anything that would put the safety and security of any American at risk is a flat-out lie, a senior White House official said. And that's the truth. President Trump cares about Americans, okay? He may not personally care for Nancy Pelosi, but he's not going to do anything that's going to endanger the lives of Americans. He is bringing our troops home because he doesn't want to have them endanger their own lives. Obviously, Trump had initially denied permission for a military transport on Thursday, citing the historic shutdown and urging her to remain in Washington and negotiate a way out of the stalemate. Luke Labady, thank you so much for the super chat. Build the wall and feed our homeless. I completely agree. Marla Davis, thank you so much for the super chat, my friend. Hey, Mark Hill, glad you're here, man. Good to see you. Good to see you. I am so happy that everyone is here right now, you guys. YouTube gave me a lot of trouble the last couple of times I tried to stream. The first 2 times it was gangbusters. This is even better than before. Obviously, if you would like to make your journey by flying commercial, the president said that would certainly be your prerogative. He wrote in that letter, which came out after Pelosi called for Trump to delay his State of the Union address amid the impasse. No, I think that everybody wants to know what the president has to say. I am personally excited about the State of the Union address. I was looking at a video from Glenn Beck yesterday. I'm not the biggest Glenn Beck fan, but since The Blaze absorbed CRTV, I got all these shows that I used to watch that I can't watch anymore. So I was trying to check it out. And him and his partner were saying that, the State of the Union's useless. We don't need it. I think it's great, okay? Because when the president stands up and says all of these amazing things that he's doing, all right, then basically the other side, shows their stripes, okay? They are wolves in sheep's clothing, All right, and it doesn't make any sense for him to not do the State of the Union address. We need to know what's going on. I had a great time at the State of the Union last year. It was a wonderful speech. Red Mist, thank you so much for the super chat. Do appreciate that. Is that a Kick-Ass reference, Red Mist? Hamill said Friday that the State Department told them overnight that Trump's announcement significantly increased the danger to the delegation and to the troops, security, and other officials supporting the trip before they learned that the alleged leak to the media. Meanwhile, the head of the White House Budget Office issued a memo Friday instructing all agencies that under no circumstances during a government shutdown will any government-owned, rented, leased, or chartered aircraft support any congressional delegation without the express written approval of the White House Chief of Staff. What a wonderful idea. You know, there's so much sensibility in Trump and his approach to things. He makes decisions because they make sense. They make good business sense. And they're just smart, all right? For too many years, we've been making decisions based on absolutely, like, nothing, all right? This country has been flying by the seat of its pants, and it has not been pretty. That's why we are in such a horrible predicament with our debt. Wow, 3,748 people watching, guys. We are almost at 4K. This is a lot of people. Why would Nancy Pelosi leave the country with other Democrats on a 7-day excursion when 800,000 great people are not getting paid? Also, could somebody please explain to Nancy and her big donors in wine country that people working on farms, grapes, will have easy access in? Okay. Yeah, so he is making an allusion to Nancy Pelosi's grape farm here that she's got. And it's where she has all of these illegals probably working for her, picking grapes at like pennies on the dollar per hour. Trump ramped up the criticism of Pelosi earlier Friday via Twitter, saying, "Why would Nancy Pelosi leave the country with other Democrats on a 7-day excursion?" The contentious back and forth suggests that both sides are only digging in their respective positions over the shutdown. Democrats and Republicans have been at a stalemate over funding for a wall on the southern border. Trump has demanded almost $6 billion in funding for a wall or barrier, but Democrats have balked at the request and have only agreed to less than $2 billion for general border security. What happened to all the money from the Obama administration that was supposed to go for border security, to build a wall or a fence that didn't get used? Sheila Dunphy, thank you for the super chat. I do appreciate it, my friend. Well, you know, and what was Nancy Pelosi doing leaving the country? You know, I said on Twitter that, or maybe it was on Space Shots YouTube, that, you know, what she was doing, it seemed to me more like she was getting the gang together for a coup. It was a meeting for a coup. Casey Carlson, thank you. Hey, man, I'm glad you're here. If I open your eyes, I'm humble. I am so honored that that is the case, my friend. So look at this in a tweet from Donna Brazil. Madam Speaker, today, President Pelosi shortly thereafter. MLK weekend is underway. Okay, so Nancy Pelosi, being the Speaker of the House, would become the president were the president and vice president to, you know, no longer be alive. Okay, MLK weekend, MLK was assassinated. All right, Nancy Pelosi and all these people were leaving the country, trying to not be in the country. I think that they were definitely planning to kill the president. And I think that he foiled their plot, and they can't kill him while they're in town because there's, you know, they won't have the plausible deniability as before. Let's take a look at this video of Nancy Pelosi crying about how President Trump endangered her.
Yesterday, our members were on the bus. We're ready to join them to go to 215 wheels up from here to Andrews Air Force Base to visit our troops, pay our respects, to thank them for their service, their sacrifice, and their dedication, to get a measure of the leadership of Afghanistan, the strength of their military, the morale of their people. It's about governance, it's about security, it's about the civilian affairs in the country as we make our oversight decisions about our policy, the engagement that we have in Afghanistan. The members were on the bus already. I was about to join them, and the president then canceled the trip. It was a kind of a funny letter saying 7 days. And somebody didn't tell him it was a quick weekend trip, but nonetheless that serves his purpose. So not forgetting him for a moment. So then that was that for that, but we had prerogative to travel commercially, and we made plans to do that. And to the administration then leaked that we were traveling commercially.
BS. Nancy Pelosi. Hey, thank you so much for the super chat, XWild1, and thank you for the super chat, AV40229. Nancy just guaranteed the 30-plus days for the extension. I believe she did. She tried to show President Trump that she had some amount of power in this situation, but she doesn't have any power. She doesn't have any power in this situation, okay? Because you know what? The bills that they are sending through from the House to the Senate can take those and they can adjust them however they want and then pass them. All right. All this is an exercise in showing how horrible the Democrats are. And it's not even all the Democrats, but it's certainly the Democratic leadership. All right. The leadership is the ones who are running the show here. All right. Carrie Lee Crompton, thank you so much for that super chat, and thank you for creating the channel and bringing us the news. I do what I can. I want to thank you guys all for watching me. It means a lot. It's a lot of fun to do this, and I'm very, very honored to be able to do it for you guys. Okay, so you guys remember yesterday about the BuzzFeed debacle. BuzzFeed produced a yellow-bellied journalistic piece of crap. Donald Horton, thank you so much, sir. I do appreciate that super chat. So BuzzFeed produced this made-up article from Jason Leopold, who's been shown to be producing fake news in the past. Jason Leopold is a fake news journalist, the worst type, the worst type. The president will be speaking at 4 o'clock, and I'm just verifying right there. All right. Well, guess who came out in support of the president? New Anon. Oh, my God. Thank you for the super chat. You are my favorite, New Anon. I'm so glad you're here. So the special counsel's office, Robert Mueller came out in support of the president, saying that the BuzzFeed article was fake news. Fake news. Well, President Trump says of the BuzzFeed debacle, it's going to take a long time for mainstream media to restore its credibility. It hurts me to see that. Look at BuzzFeed's a dumpster fire. BuzzFeed got nuked by Mueller's office on Friday night after the liberal media platform floated a fake news Trump-Cohen-Moscow report late Thursday night. BuzzFeed dropped some late-night Trump-Russia fake news on Thursday after the media and Democrats' rough day dealing with Air Pelosi. The latest fake news story from BuzzFeed had the Democrats and their stenographers in the mainstream media riled up and calling for Trump's head. BuzzFeed reported late Thursday night that according to law enforcement sources, Trump directed his former lawyer Michael Cohen to lie to Congress about the proposed Trump Tower in Moscow. BuzzFeed originally reported that Michael Cohen told Mueller's team that President Trump personally instructed him to lie to Congress. Of course, because Trump's that stupid. Not that this Trump Tower deal in Moscow was ever going to happen. Trump is on right now. It says it's live, but nothing is on there. Hold on, guys. We're going to try to get this. We're going to try to do this. Fox News Live. Okay. Trump is on. Where is it? Let's see. It says it only starts in 13 minutes, guys. It says it starts in 13 minutes and 32 seconds. Okay, well. Okay. Yeah, I guess I don't know. It's not on. Does somebody want to send me a link? He is on Fox. What is going on? I don't have Fox. Let's see. Crud. YouTube.com. Fox channel. Okay. It says starting soon. You guys, does anybody have a link they want to send me? Let's see. It's live on Fox. Golden State Times. Okay. Golden State Times. right now. No, that's from the Oval Office. That was from the
You
other
have
one.
forged a sacred bond
All right, here we
with
go.
this nation, its traditions, its culture, and its values. This heritage is now yours to protect, promote, and pass down to the next generation and to the next wave of newcomers to our shores. Our history is now your history. Our traditions are now your traditions.
You guys, this is the new citizen ceremony. We're still waiting for the 4 p.m. announcement. All right. So if you want to keep that on in the background, then that's cool. Let's finish this article here. Mike Davis on Twitter. Here we go. Okay, so BuzzFeed originally reported that Michael Cohen told Mueller that Trump told him to lie for him. On Friday evening, a spokesperson for the special counsel disputed BuzzFeed's junk report, calling it inaccurate. On Friday, that's about the worst thing you can have, guys. If you're a journalist and you publish a story that's inaccurate, that means that it's not true, okay? On Friday morning, President Trump responded to the latest fake news sensation by the liberal media and DC hacks. President Trump says it hurts him to see the mainstream media at such a low point of untrustworthiness. President Trump said, "I thought the BuzzFeed piece and equally as bad the coverage of the BuzzFeed story. It was a totally phony story, and I appreciate the special counsel coming out with a statement last night. I think it was very appropriate that they did so. I very much appreciate that. And I think the BuzzFeed piece is a disgrace to our country. It was a disgrace to journalism. And I think also that the coverage by the mainstream media was disgraceful. And I think it's going to take a long time for the mainstream media to recover its credibility. It's lost tremendous credibility. And believe me, that hurts me when I see that. It hurts me to say it, but mainstream media has lost its credibility." Light of Jesus, thank you so much for the super chat. Let's listen to President Trump say that.
Yes, I thought that the BuzzFeed piece, and maybe equally as bad, the coverage of the BuzzFeed phony story. It was a total phony story. And I appreciate the special counsel coming out with a statement last night. I think it was very appropriate that they did so. I very much appreciate that. I think that the BuzzFeed piece was a disgrace to our country. It was a disgrace to journalism. And I think also that the coverage by the mainstream media was disgraceful. And I think it's going to take a long time for the mainstream media to recover its credibility. It's lost tremendous credibility. And believe me, that hurts me when I see that. I'm the president of this country. Media could pull this country together. It hurts me to say it. But mainstream media has truly lost its credibility. And I can say, as far as I'm concerned, from before the election, during the campaign, I said, wow, this is really crooked stuff. This is really dishonest reporting. When the New York Times apologized after the election for their bad coverage and their faulty coverage, and then they were wonderful for 2 weeks, and then they went back to being worse than ever before. And so many others. I'm not just blaming the Times. But the mainstream media has lost its credibility. And that's a very bad thing for our country. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Light of Jesus, for that super chat. Man, you guys are awesome. Trump is right. The mainstream media has become destroyed. They are a shell of their former self. I saw that we had at least one person with Trump derangement syndrome in the chat. And, don't worry, hon. There's help out there for you. Just keep coming back to my channel. We're going to take care of you. They lost credibility a long time ago. They, many, many years before the Trump administration, guys, I realize that. But they have really sounded the death knell with this latest round of attacks. They are as far from journalism as you can possibly get. I feel bad. I feel bad for the people that watch that crap and seem to think that it's real, okay? That are not smart enough, or excuse me, maybe it's more that they're not aware enough to realize that they're being played, all right? There's not a Russian in the White House. We have an American. For the first time in a long time, we've got an American in the White House, all right? Deborah Simmons, love from California, Q Army in full force. I would love to see you host live shows with Space Shot and all the others. God bless. Thank you so much for the super chat. Space Shot may be on my show tonight, you guys. I think that he actually will be. So make sure that you come back at 9 o'clock. I got my Discord up so we can do a little phone call. And we're going to have a lot to talk about because we're definitely going to be discussing what happens with Trump's announcement here in only 8 minutes. Where we go one, we go all. Thank you so much, everybody. All right. So Trump is right. The mainstream media is done. They are going to have to take Trump's side so that they can redeem themselves. All right. Because right now, nobody trusts them. Nobody's watching that crap. You got a handful of people in New York City and in Los Angeles maybe watching CNN and MSNBC. The real people out there are not. Jay for Justice, thank you so much for the super chat. You guys are amazing. Wow. This is great. I am so glad you guys are here. This means so much to me. This is awesome. All right, so now watch CNN analyst Jeffrey Toobin worries, are people going to think the media are a bunch of leftist liars over BuzzFeed's fake news? The answer is yes, Jeff. The answer is yes. We know that the media is a bunch of left-wing liars. CNN legal analyst Jeffrey Toobin was in despair on Friday after special counsel Robert Mueller's office debunked a bombshell. The wheels are coming off. It's a bombshell. Report from BuzzFeed that many on the left believed would take down President Trump. Man, I saw so many people last night. Oh, the president's going to be impeached, blah, blah, blah. And no, that's not going to happen, guys. You guys are completely out of your minds. Toobin worried that the fake report would leave a lot of people believing that the news media are a bunch of leftist liars. I'm sorry, Jeff. Hate to break it to you, but we already know. We already know. BuzzFeed created quite a celebration on the left earlier in the day when they reported that President Trump had told Michael Cohen to lie to Congress about efforts to build a Trump Tower in Russia. In a rare move, Mueller's office released a statement declaring that the story was not accurate. OpsDoc, thank you so much for the super chat. Thank you, Patriot. Thank you for joining us today. BuzzFeed's description of specific statements to the special counsel's office and characterization of documents and testimony obtained by this office regarding Michael Cohen's congressional testimony are not accurate, a spokesman for Mueller's office said in a statement. Appearing on a CNN panel about the issue, Toobin was extremely concerned about the damage BuzzFeed caused. The larger message that a lot of people are going to take from this story is that the news media are a bunch of leftist liars. Yep. Who are dying to get the president. Yes. And they're willing to lie to do it. Yes, Toobin said. And I don't think that's true. You're wrong. You're wrong. Ian McCullough, thank you once again for the super chat. I don't know True Reporting, but maybe I'll reach out to him. I just think this is a bad day for us. It reinforces every bad stereotype about the news media, he added. CNN host Brian Stelter agreed, but worried about the president using the story to attack liberal journalists. No, I think he's going to use the story to attack the libel journalists. Casey Carlson, thank you so much. Say hi to my mom who loves you. Hey, Casey Carlson's mom. That's great, brother. My mom loves me too. She watches the show. I don't know if she's on the live stream right now, but her and her friends do love me. Vince McKnight, thank you for the super chat. Linda Leslie, thank you for the super chat. Oh my God, you guys are awesome. I cannot wait for this show to start. Okay, let's listen to Brian Stelter's whiny little voice.
Boy, I have a different view of the implications of all this. My view is this is the larger message that a lot of people are going to take from this story is that the news media are a bunch of leftist liars who are dying to get the president and they're willing to lie to do it. Well, I don't think that's true. But
is that is that different? I mean, that's not. That's
well, I'm focused on the media side. Preet's talking about the law enforcement side. But I mean, they're not contradictory. But I just think this is a bad day for us. And there's no. I mean, I don't know, Ryan. You seem to disagree a little bit. But I just think it reinforces every bad stereotype about the news media.
It does reinforce bad stereotypes about the news media. I agree with you. I am desperate as a media reporter to always say to the audience, judge folks individually and judge brands individually. Don't fall for what these politicians out there want you to do. They want you to think we're all crooked. We're not. But BuzzFeed
and neither
now,
is BuzzFeed.
Now BuzzFeed, now the onus is on BuzzFeed. Now the onus is on
bad
BuzzFeed.
Day for BuzzFeed.
Ben Smith says he knows the identity of the two sources. Obviously the reporters know the identity of the two sources. They're going to be going back to those two sources and hopefully to other sources to try to get to the bottom of this. Now it's a dispute. And I don't know how that dispute's going to be resolved. I'm not disagreeing with you. This will be
look at their faces.
Media as a whole. But I hope that we can see past that and smarter than that. I hope the president doesn't guide everybody else to use it against the
I think that the
Look at his face. Oh my god. Oh, somebody crapped in his Cheerios.
president is very likely, if past his prelude, going to see this as evidence for his attacks on the media being justified, and I think that his supporters would say that that is understandable.
Yeah.
But then we need to keep reinforcing to the audience how much smoke there is.
But I
there's a
think-
massive fire. So much
right.
evidence of wrongdoing.
But we do that. We do that every day. I think that there are two important things to remember. That part of why if the media gets something wrong, and Ben Smith is saying they stand by their reporting, if the media gets something wrong, it is incumbent on us to correct it. And I understand that it is frustrating to the press and also to people who believe in the press that the White House does not necessarily follow that same standard for themselves, but that has nothing to do with what we do.
Right, we have to keep our standards high, even if others are low. And in this case,
JB taking less deplorables. Thank you so much for the super chats. You know what? It is incumbent on the media. It is incumbent on the media to come out and say when they're wrong, but they don't do that. Okay? I doubt it. BuzzFeed is still sticking by their story. It is ridiculous. They are not honorable people, you guys. Not honorable people. Can I get a count from somebody on how many viewers we got in the room? And guess, you guys, I think I'm gonna hit 80,000 subscribers today. I've got 79,638 subscribers right now, and that's great. Okay, so you guys, we are waiting on Fox News. We are less than 1 minute away from the announcement from the president. We don't lie, do we? We don't lie. I mean, Rory, are you in the media? I mean, I would hope that you are part of the honorable media, if you are part of the honorable media. You guys are great. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the count. All right, everybody, get your popcorn ready. It's 3:59. The president is going to be going on very shortly. Very, very shortly. And I cannot be more excited. I sure hope that it's going to be more than him just saying that he's going to hand over that deal. But I do kind of think that this is... You see 16,000 people watching Charles Zimmerman? Are you for real? Holy jeez. That's incredible. Roger Sloan, thank you for the super chat. Thank you for checking in from South Carolina. I am in the Midwest, and we now have a ton of snow, you guys. Does everybody else have snow? If you're from the Midwest, I'm sure that you do. But we are getting hit hard where I'm at. All right. Let's see here. Liked and shared. Yes, everybody, while we're waiting for the president to come on, like and share this. We need to get this out there. People need to hear this message from the president, even if it's not exactly what we wanted. But we have to trust the plan. We need to be trusting in our president. Donald Trump has not done... Oh, it was a joke that CNN was saying. Okay, I get it. Oh, we need to stand by our president because he has stood by his promises, okay? He made a bunch of promises to us, and he is slowly bringing them to pass, all right? And you got to realize, God's guy, thank you so much. We are the news. You are great, and that is the correct. We are the news. We are making the news. We are bringing you the news, and we are informing each other. You know, I got to admit, guys, I don't have popcorn. I bought popcorn. I had to go grocery shopping right before this. And Jen Fair, let's do this. Here it comes. It's 4:01. They better be starting here any second. I'm just going to refresh the page, you guys. Let's see what happens. Still waiting for Fox News. All right, well, tell you what we're going to do. We are going to learn about this day in history. This is from my friend Mike Davis, Patriot T-Paine. On this day in history, January 19th, 1770. Let's learn. Let us learn. This is some fascinating stuff. I don't know about you guys, but I love history, okay? So on this day, in January 19th, 1770, the first blood of the American Revolution was shed on the Battle of Golden Hill. On this day, January 19th, 1770, the first blood of the American Revolution was shed on the Battle of Golden Hill. The Liberty Pole in New York City was first erected on the Commons in 1766. Soldiers in a barrack on the north side of the Commons saw this sign of defiance every day and tore it down in August, only to have 3,000 angry citizens confront them. Both sides were armed, but no one was hurt. The citizens erected another pole, but it was torn down in September. A third pole was erected, and this one stood until March 18th, 1769. and when it was torn down after that month's Stamp Act repeal celebrations. Yet another pole was raised, this one sheathed in iron to protect it. On March 21st, soldiers attempted to blow it with gunpowder, but failed. 2 more attempts were made, but thwarted. This pole stood on the Commons until December 1769, when the new assembly compiled with the Quartering Act by giving up some money for the upkeep of the soldiers, an act which was previously assemblies had refused. This caused a new round of protests at the Liberty Pole, and soldiers tried to blow it up on the night of January 13, 1770. They stopped when citizens from the local Montaigne's Tavern sounded the alarm and ransacked the tavern instead. The Sons of Liberty called for a meeting at the pole the next Wednesday, but the soldiers finally succeeded in blowing it up the night before. When it was discovered, a mob of citizens approached the nearby barracks. The soldiers lined up with drawn bayonets, but officers corralled them back inside. On January 19th, several soldiers began posting handbills around town which demeaned the local citizens. Sons of Liberty leader Isaac Sears and others stopped them, but some escaped. Sears took 2 prisoners to the mayor's house, and a large crowd gathered there. Soon a group of 20 soldiers showed up to rescue their friends. The 2 soldiers in the house were alarmed by the crowd and told friends to leave, which they did, but the crowd followed them, harassing them with epithets. When the soldiers reached Golden Hill, a small hill where wheat was grown, another group of soldiers arrived. This emboldened the first group, and they turned to face the angry crowd. At this point, one of the soldiers cried out, "Draw your bayonets and cut your way through them!" They attacked the crowd, which began to flee, lunging at anyone who came across their path. Those dirty Brits. Francis Field, an innocent bystander, was slashed across the face when he stepped into his doorway to see what was the matter. A food vendor and a fisherman were injured, and another man took a near-fatal bayonet stab. Finally, British officers arrived and were able to get control of their men. None of the victims died, however. The following day, violence flared again, and a sailor was stabbed with a bayonet. The Battle of Golden Hill is often called the first blood of the American Revolution. Pardon me, guys. The Boston Massacre would happen 6 weeks later. The Battle of Golden Hill was even more significant than the Boston Massacre, in that it was a protracted skirmish that lasted several days. The Boston Massacre would earn the greater place in history, though, because of the actual casualties that occurred, and because of the more skillful propaganda machine of the Boston's Sons of Liberty. Well, hopefully there's not going to be any blood being shed today. Wait a second. You guys, is there something? 417. Wouldn't that be great? President Trump went live at 417. All right, so National Popcorn Day is also today. We're going to do a little research on National Popcorn Day real quick. National Popcorn Day. Ooh, let's see what the Reagan Foundation has to say about it. Ronald Reagan, another great president. Look at that, Ronnie and Nancy. Oh. Beautiful couple. Beautiful couple. I love Ronald Reagan's style. He really was a stylish guy. Comfortable. Definitely. Strong man. Let's see. Let's learn something else. I want to know why National Popcorn Day started. Here we go. Fun facts about National Popcorn Day. Well, these are activities that we can do. Maybe we'll do these later tonight. We can string popcorn. We can guess the amount of popcorn. National Popcorn Day is celebrated at the end of January, although its exact date is a matter of debate. Various sources report it as January 19th. Others claim it takes place on whatever day the big game falls on. Is there a game today, you guys? It's 4:20 here, 24/7. Outlaw Hillbilly. The Popcorn Board is often asked about the origins of this day. Unfortunately, we do not know how or when this celebration began. Some other individual or organization began this tradition. Well, Reagan was... I don't believe so, Fritchie777, but... I think that Ronald Reagan probably wanted to do a lot of other different things, but when he was, had the attempted assassination on him by George H.W. Bush and his cronies at the Clowns in America, I think that he got scared, and I think that he go to NBC. I don't want to watch NBC, guys. I'm going to say that. Let's pull up another window here. We'll look. We'll go to YouTube again. And maybe let's see what's going on. What happened? I'm seeing people saying that he's live. Hasn't started yet. Okay. Well, the president's not live, guys. He's on. He's on. I can hear you vaping. Yes. Okay. Let's look on another channel, I guess. The reason I was going to Fox is because people said that last time the White House stream. No, that's the humanitarian crisis on the southern border. Here we go.
The world.
Oh, sorry, guys.
Into our national family. I told them that the beauty and majesty of citizenship is that it draws no distinctions of race or class or faith or gender or background. All Americans, whether first generation or 10th generation, are bound together in love and loyalty, friendship and affection. We are all equal. We are one team and one people proudly saluting one great American flag. We believe in a safe and lawful system of immigration, one that upholds our laws, our traditions, and our most cherished values. Unfortunately, our immigration system has been badly broken for a very long time. Over the decades, many presidents and many lawmakers have come and gone, and no real progress has been made on immigration. We are now living with the consequences, and they are tragic, brought about by decades of political stalemate, partisan gridlock, and national neglect. There is a humanitarian and security crisis on our southern border that requires urgent action. Thousands of children are being exploited by ruthless coyotes and vicious cartels and gangs. 1 in 3 women is sexually assaulted on the dangerous journey north. In fact, many loving mothers give their young daughters birth control pills for the long journey up to the United States because they know they may be raped or sexually accosted or assaulted. Nearly 50 migrants a day are being referred for urgent medical care. Vast quantities of lethal narcotics are flooding through our border and into our communities, including meth, cocaine, heroin, and fentanyl. Drugs kill 78,000 Americans a year and cost our society in excess of $700 billion. Heroin alone kills 300 Americans a week, 90% of which comes across our southern border. We can stop heroin. Illegal immigration reduces wages and strains public services. The lack of border control provides a gateway, a very wide and open gateway, for criminals and gang members to enter the United States, including the criminal aliens who murdered a brave California police officer only a day after Christmas. I've gotten to know and love angel moms, dads, and family who lost loved ones to people illegally in our country. I want this to end. It's got to end now. These are not talking points. These are the heartbreaking realities that are hurting innocent, precious human beings every single day on both sides of the border. As a candidate for president, I promised I would fix this crisis, and I intend to keep that promise one way or the other. Our immigration system should be the subject of pride, not a source of shame, as it is all over the world. Our immigration system should be the envy of the world, not a symbol of disunity and dysfunction. The good news is these problems can all be solved but only if we have the political courage to do what is just and what is right. Both sides in Washington must simply come together, listen to each other, put down their armor, build trust, reach across the aisle, and find solutions. It is time to reclaim our future from the extreme voices who fear compromise and demand open borders, which means drugs pouring in, human trafficking, and a lot of crime. That is why I am here today to break the logjam and provide Congress with a path forward to end the government shutdown and solve the crisis on the southern border. If we are successful in this effort, we will then have the best chance in a very long time at real bipartisan immigration reform. And it won't stop here. It will keep going until we do it all. The proposal I will outline today is based on, first and foremost, on input from our border agents and Homeland Security professionals, and professionals they are. They know what they're doing. It is a compassionate response to the ongoing tragedy on our southern border. In recent weeks, we have met with large numbers of Democrat lawmakers to hear their ideas and suggestions. By incorporating the priorities of rank-and-file Democrats in our plan, we hope they will offer their enthusiastic support, and I think many will. This is a common-sense compromise both parties should embrace. The radical left can never control our borders. I will never let it happen. Walls are not immoral. In fact, they are the opposite of immoral because they will save many lives and stop drugs from pouring into our country. Our plan includes the following: $800 million in urgent humanitarian assistance, $805 million for drug detection technology to help secure our ports of entry, an additional 2,750 border agents and law enforcement professionals, 75 new immigration judge teams to reduce the court backlog of, believe it or not, almost 900,000 cases. However, the whole concept of having lengthy trials for anyone who sets one foot in our country unlawfully must be changed by Congress. It is unsustainable. It is ridiculous. Few places in the world would even consider such an impossible nightmare. Our plan includes critical measures to protect migrant children from exploitation and abuse. This includes a new system to allow Central American minors to apply for asylum in their home countries and reform to promote family reunification for unaccompanied children, thousands of whom wind up on our border doorstep. To physically secure our border, the plan includes $5.7 billion for a strategic deployment of physical barriers, or a wall. This is not a 2,000-mile concrete structure from sea to sea. These are steel barriers in high-priority locations. Much of the border is already protected by natural barriers such as mountains and water. We already have many miles of barrier, including 115 miles that we are currently building or under contract. It will be done quickly. Our request will add another 230 miles this year in the areas our border agents most urgently need. It will have an unbelievable impact. If we build a powerful and fully designed see-through steel barrier on our southern border, the crime rate and drug problem in our country would be quickly and greatly reduced. Some say it could be cut in half. because these criminals, drug smugglers, gangs, and traffickers do not stop at our border. They permeate throughout our country, and they end up in some places where you'd least expect them. They go all over our country. A steel barrier will help us stop illegal immigration while safely directing commerce to our lawful ports of entry. Many of these security ideas have been proposed by Democrats themselves, and all of them have been supported by Democrats in the past, including a physical barrier wall or fence. Furthermore, in order to build the trust and goodwill necessary to begin real immigration reform, there are two more elements to my plan. Number one is 3 years of legislative relief for 700,000 DACA recipients brought here unlawfully by their parents at a young age many years ago. This extension will give them access to work permits, Social Security numbers, and protection from deportation, most importantly. Secondly, our proposal provides a 3-year extension of temporary protected status, or TPS. This means that 300,000 immigrants whose protected status is facing expiration will now have 3 more years of certainty so that Congress can work on a larger immigration deal, which everybody wants, Republicans and Democrats. And our farmers and vineyards won't be affected because lawful and regulated entry into our country will be easy and consistent. That is our plan. Border security, DACA, TPS, and many other things. Straightforward, fair, reasonable, and common sense with lots of compromise. Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell has pledged to bring this bill to a vote this week in the United States Senate. Our proposal is not intended to solve all of our immigration challenges. This plan solves the immediate crisis, and it is a horrible crisis. It is a humanitarian crisis like we rarely see in our country. And it provides humanitarian relief, delivers real border security, and immediately reopens our federal government. If we are successful in this effort, then we can start the border project of remaking our immigration system for the 21st century. Once the government is open and we have made a down payment on border security and immigration reform starts to happen, I plan to convene weekly bipartisan meetings at the White House so we can do a finished product, a great product, a product that we can all be proud of having to do with that elusive immigration problem. Whatever we do, I can promise you this: I will never forget that my first duty and ultimate loyalty is to you, the American people.
Amen.
Any reforms we make to our immigration system will be designed to improve your lives, make your community safer, and make our nation more prosperous and secure for generations to come. Thank you, and God bless America. Thank you.
And God bless Donald Trump. Thank you, Mr. President. All right, guys. So what do you think? I think it makes sense. I think it has common sense written all over it. All right, well, you guys, tonight at 9 o'clock, when I go live again, we will discuss all of the points of President Trump's plan here. All right, so get your notes ready. We're going to do this together tonight at 9 o'clock. Don't forget, make sure you hit that notification bell. I'm going to go schedule the stream right after this. I'm also going to allow you to set a reminder for that stream tonight. So don't trust YouTube to just send the notification out. Join me once again tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we will discuss the points of President Trump's plan to end the shutdown and end the humanitarian crisis at the border. I want to thank everyone who joined me today. We had a great turnout. I sure do appreciate it. You guys are the best. I would not be able to do this if it wasn't for you. So once again, everyone, I am Red Pill 78, the corruption detector, and this was your Red Pill News. Good luck, everyone. God bless, and we'll see you tonight.